Guys, we are gardening here on the West Fork inside today, but the good news is it's winter sowing, which I've done 2 years in a row now. And for someone like me, I'm not a fussy gardener. I like to not have fussy plants. And I have a small garden, small areas to start seeds, but this is fun. This is where you start your seeds in jugs, water jugs, something clear at least. These are distilled water jugs, and I've used these. They've done very well. You can use food containers like you get a chicken out of, or I'm trying to think. Yeah, here we go. Something like this even. Okay, you can start your seeds, anything that you can get sunlight through and hold soil. But here's how it works. Today I'm sowing Larkspur. And I did this last year, had great success. They bloomed. Larkspur is a spring bloomer. It's beautiful. And it's fantastic to do in the winter sow procedure method, along with I've done my foxgloves. They were successful in winter sown jugs. You can do your delphiniums. You can do your columbine. And the good news is basically, I've done 2 jugs already, and I'll show you how you do this. It's a simple procedure, and you can do them January and February. My tools are the jugs. This is potting soil, not seed starting soil. You want potting soil so it'll hold the moisture. Once they're outside, you're going to rely on Mother Nature, either through snow or rain, to keep them moist. If you go through a dry period in the winter, you want to make certain that you open your jugs, mist that soil so they get some moisture. We're lucky here in Zone 6 in West Virginia that we get moisture. We're going to get rain this week. And that is why when you use these jugs, you do not put the cap back on the center hole. And I've even added, for good air circulation and maybe even a little moisture, some little slots on the top. I have found too that when you do this job with your jugs, you want to make certain that you have drain holes on the bottom, and you want to make certain that you mark what it is. I don't have a problem with it because I'm only doing Larkspur. If I was doing 3 different types of plants, then you'd want to make certain what you're doing. So use a plant marker, not a permanent marker, because it'll fade. Or make some other kind of identification so you don't forget what plant is in your pots. Larkspur, right there. That's done. And the next thing I'm going to do is, you want to be cautious with your utility knife. And I have found the last thing you do is cut through this jug to open it. Otherwise, it's harder to get your holes in. You lose the control. So I'm going to put in my drain holes down here. Of course, this will be the one that's harder to get in. Everything else, there we go. Drain holes. There we go. At least 4, 5. Because you don't want the soil to be sitting in moisture either. I'm going to put one more. There we go. And now I will put a few little, just a couple little slits on the top maybe. There we go. There we go. And when you get ready to cut this, you want to cut this in half, but keeping enough that it's like a lid, so that as the temperatures rise and you may need to water them, you can undo your duct tape. That's what I'm using to keep it together, to add a little moisture. So I'm going to start somewhere right around here. Keep a hold of it. Be cautious. And we'll get that cut open. And bring it all the way around until you get to the handle. Always being cautious with these sharp knives.
You had to pick the utility knife that has the...
And you want to be able to open it, so I need to cut this a little further.
The dullest blade.
Yeah, I couldn't find your other one, Reg, that blue one.
I had that one.
So you can see how this opens up nicely. And then what you're going to put in here, you want at least 4 inches of potting soil in here so that there's room for those roots to really grow and have a nice root formation. And you want pre-moistened soil, which this isn't. I'm going to go over to the sink and add some water over here, and we will get this ready to go. You only want your soil to be able just to make a little ball in your hand. So we'll get a little moisture in this, put the soil in the pot, add the seeds, and we'll take them outside. And I love this. I love this because there's such a simple little method. It's kind of like a chop and drop dinner. You put it in there and you can walk away and forget about it. Unless, of course, it gets dry in your winter zone, wherever you are. So this is all the more moist it is, just enough to barely make a ball. And then I'm going to put 4 inches of soil in this pot, in the bottom of it. And then we'll put our seeds on top. And larkspur, you don't want to, you just barely want to put them on top of the soil. Pack your soil in there. Make a nice spot for it, like that. And then I'm going to make my spots that I'm just going to drop my seeds in. This is just because these seeds are black and tiny. I want to see where they're going to go. I'm not making more than, I don't know, is that 1/8 of an inch? You just want to cover them lightly with soil. That's the whole idea about this. Because if you out in nature, like at the end of the season, I let my larkspur go to, as I do with my foxgloves and my columbine, I let them go to seed in the garden. Then I just go out and shake their seeds on the ground and they come back up. So this is a good one for a beginner to play with. And that's why you, on the same idea in your pot, you don't want to plant them deep because they will thrive better if you just lay them on top of the soil. Let's get this out of the way. So that's about 4 inches of soil in the pot. 3 or 4. I don't think it's that important, but come on. And then here's our seeds. Come out of there, guys. There they go. And I'm going to put 2 or 3 in my little depressions that I've created there, like I usually do. So we'll just drop them in those little depressions. And then I'm going to scatter a few just on top, just like if they were in my garden. And I'm going to spritz the soil, tape them up. There we go in the center. We'll put a few in there for good measure. And now I'm just going to just barely cover with your finger. Go back in here and you can see those little depressions, a little bit of soil on top. Just like that. And now I'm going to spritz. Get that nice and moist before I take them outside. Maybe. There we go. So get them nice and moist before you take them outside. We're going to have rain this week sometime. It's a nice day today. We've had snow. I like this to be very moist for the first, when it gets set.
So you're really creating a little mini greenhouse here, aren't you?
Absolutely. It is a mini greenhouse, which I'd love to have a greenhouse, but
well, where would we put it? That's the question. It's not that
I know
we couldn't have
we
one.
couldn't have one. It's just we are in town on a little lot. Okay, so it's moist, and I've already pre-cut a piece of duct tape. And now all you have to do is get the top and the bottom together, covering up that split. And we'll take them outside. Give them their new home. You want to put these in a sunny spot where they'll get moisture, where they're away from a lot of wind. And again, just set them out there and let them be. Let Mother Nature take over. Yay. So I've got a little tray here. We'll carry them down. I put mine down by the rain barrel. It's a great spot. It's south facing. It's prevented from wind because it's below the deck and the corner of the house. The wind comes from the east, but our deck is protecting it from wind. And so here we go. We'll take these down to the deck. Follow me, Reg. Hey guys, so here we are. And for new subscribers, and I've had several, if you pan down there, Reg, this is called gardening on the West Fork because we live on the beautiful West Fork River. I love it. It's peaceful. It's gorgeous. So many waterfowl. But what a nice backdrop. So here we are, and I'm putting my larkspur. They're going to be kept on this step outside of here. It's protected from wind. We'll get, you can see where the sun is now. So these will get plenty of sunshine. They'll get plenty of moisture. And I'll check on them. And it's so exciting when you see those first few green leaves pop up. I'll get out of the way. So anyhow, that is winter sown larkspur. Fun thing to do. Get out there, find a jug, and experiment. What could go wrong? That maybe you have to plant directly into the soil, and which I will do in February if there's a snow. I'll probably go out and cast some on the soil, on the top of the snow, and let it go into the soil and see if I get any germination. I did that last year and had 2 or 3 plants come up, so it's all fun. Thanks for watching. Gardening on the West Fork, winter sowing, the larkspur. Bye.